Well, we thought we would give you a garden tour today. James just tilled up this little section down here. It's already been tilled several times, but he just tilled it. It's looking all fresh, and thought it would be a good time to show you our garden. James planted a little earlier than several around this area, and so we already have some plants that are up pretty good size, looking pretty good. So this area here has always been a garden. We've been here, it'll be 3 years in August, and the section down there that's freshly tilled, I think there was even a greenhouse down there at one time. So this has been a garden for probably 30 plus years. When we bought this house, you couldn't even see these raised beds. This area was very overgrown and just in a state of disrepair, I guess you could say. It had just been sitting here growing weeds for several years. So we are working on it a little at a time. This section here was just tilled last fall in preparation for planting this year. And so we're just working on it a little at a time. It's really a rustic garden in my opinion, which fits perfectly in this setting. I call it a rustic garden. It may not be, but that's what I'm going to call it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what we've got going. This here, and I've got a lot of sun today, so it may not be the best time to film, but we're going to film anyway. So this is cilantro. This is zucchini, actually squash. So we got some yellow crooked neck squash, or yeah, yellow crooked neck. And then on down here, we've got zucchini. And a couple of these things through here we think we may have lost, but that's what we got in this little row. Alright, and so down here we've got some cucumbers. And we have Ronan, he's checking it all out. And so let's go on over just a little bit further. Okay, so this is another few rows, and so this one here is carrots, and you can see for whatever reason they're a little slower growing here, and they've really popped up down here, and they just look wonderful. So we've got a whole row of carrots. That's going to be awesome. Okay, so down here we have some tomato plants. And then we've got some cabbage. Several of those. And then look how pretty this kale is. Here's some cabbage. Look how pretty. So we've got kale. These are our green beans. Starting here. Look how nice those look. Some of them are up really tall. And then down there on the end are radishes. Okay, so we've got some radishes down there. Everything's looking good. The tomato plant at the very end down there is really tall and nice. And we've got that beautiful bush there. I don't know, I think a red honeysuckle. I really don't know. You guys can tell me in the comments if you know. The swing set was already there, the swing set form, and basically for that vine to grow on, probably. And then that section back there already had the green lattice, and we've got the twisted tree, which is super cool. We just weren't sure if this was gonna be dead. It kind of looked it, but now it's got some green on there. So the bottom is twisted, and then we've just got these old headboard and footboard. Those were both there. And like I said, this whole section was a greenhouse. We knew that from, they told us that, and then we have dug up so many patio stone there. It's not even funny. We have like a whole little Lowe's lawn and garden center on the side of our barn from things that we've dug up. And then these raised beds, these window boxes, or whatever they are, I guess window boxes, they're big, heavy cement ones. Those were other places. We just kind of put them there. Haven't planted anything in those. These last 2 beds, nothing is there. We'll probably do pumpkins. That's what we've done the past couple of years. This bed here, those are strawberry plants. We're trying our hand at that. Don't know if that'll be a go or no go. And then here you can see the marigolds here in the front and a lot of what looks to be weeds, which there are some. But this whole bed is zinnias. And I did this last year and they were probably 6 foot tall. They were gorgeous. And then this here is a bed that doesn't have much in it. We've got the marigolds, and then this is my pineapple mint. This is awesome. I've planted this since we've lived here a couple of times, and this one actually came back on its own from last year. They smell so fragrant. If you stand over by them, you can smell the pineapple. So you just use them like you would a mint leaf. Put them in tea, lemonade, whatever you want. All right, moving on over to this section. We have some more tomato plants. We have a row of green onions. Those are looking good. And this looks like a green pepper plant. And this one is a poblano pepper. And this one is a banana pepper, I believe. And they've got some little tiny buds on there, or blooms, or whatever they're called. Anyhow, they're doing their thing. This one is too. So this back section is just a lot of wood that was here and there. Just kind of stacked up there for storage for now. Like I said, work in progress here. And then we've got potatoes. Look how beautiful those are. And 2 rows of corn. Everything is looking so good already. Those are about knee high. And then back here, this arbor was twice this length, and we lost half of it when we had a tree fall that fell during a storm. See if I can show you back up here. This is the back. This is the start of the woods that's on our property. So a tree fell, it fell across the fire pit area, and we had them come out to go ahead and drop 3 more trees that were dead because we didn't want them falling on our shelter house here. And when they did, they weren't, I don't know, they just didn't do that great a job, and they took out part of our grape arbor. We were able to salvage the grape plants though. So we have 2 that are really looking great. What we did lose though was a rhubarb plant and some I think it's called salvia maybe. Kind of looks like heather or lavender. Those were here in this area. Those are gone. So yeah, I'm not the best at filming like this, so give me some grace. But I just wanted to show you at this point what the garden's looking like. It's just so beautiful. Love it. There's our great big pine tree with some swings in that. And this is looking towards our house, our biggest bird feeder, the winter garden that's down there in the front of our house. I'm going to give you a whole yard tour. I'm planning on doing that this week actually, but that's the winter garden. We've worked hard on that. And of course my beautiful porch. And this is looking up towards the barn, the patio, and our shelter house that we worked so hard on last year. The porch and the shelter were our biggest projects. Normally I plant some flowers here in front of the horseshoe pits. I just haven't done that yet. And of course you can see a lot of wood. We burn wood in our wood stove. So that's an ongoing project always. There's the other horseshoe pit. There's our great big smoker and grill. And there is Roni. I don't know if you can see him, but Ronan, he's laying down. He's been tromping through the woods and he got tired. So he's taking a rest under the pine tree. There he is. I love this area, full of these pine trees. When you're right underneath that, Henry calls it the tunnel because the branches come down so low. And then this is the creek over here on this side. We have a creek that basically surrounds us on 3 sides. This is one of them. It's just over in the thicket there. And it runs all the way around. There's actually 3 creeks that come together here. And I'll give you a better tour on some of these things. It's just a little bit for now. This is a fern that I transplanted from the woods. There's ferns growing everywhere, and I did this 2 years ago. Last year it did okay. This year it's doing really well. So I hope it just continues and gets bigger and bigger. Here's my wash tub. I got it all filled with flowers. This is on one side of our door. And this one is on the other side. Everything's just been watered. A little window box. We got some bug spray there. Have a fern here. And I'll give you the rest of the yard tour in another day.